So I want to welcome you to this workshop focused on preparing you for your virtual semester. So my name is Whitney Youngren, and I'm the online learning specialist for the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. I am also a online educator, so I've been teaching online for several years. I've also had extensive experience taking courses online. And I'm the coordinator of the Humanities and Social Sciences fully online program. So hopefully I can offer some tips today that will help you to be prepared. So we're going to spend the first 20 minutes or so having a conversation about preparing your virtual spaces and mindset. And then we're going to transition over to give you an opportunity to do a little Q&A. So although we do have a chat box, if you want to hold your questions until the end, that would be amazing. So let's go ahead and get started because I want you to think a little bit about how you want to get into that mindset to be prepared for this virtual semester. So first of all, one thing to know is that virtual or online courses require that you are organized and that you are able to have time management skills. So although you're not going to physically attend class in an actual traditional classroom, you're still going to need to manage your time so that you can make certain that you're meeting all of those course requirements. So we've prepared a couple of tips for you that will help you to do that. And so I want to start out by talking about establishing your workspace. It's very important that as we go into this virtual semester that we understand that we're going to have to find a space in which we can complete this work. So it's important for you to be finding a designated space in which you can focus in on your coursework. One thing to understand is that we all want to be able to find this perfect setting in which we're going to be able to carve out space that's just ours so that we have no distractions in order to focus in on what we need to complete. Sometimes that's not always going to be possible. So just like you're getting used to being in this virtual semester, our student success team is also in a virtual setting. In fact, our student success team, several members are here, and I'll introduce them in a little bit. But you may or may not know that all of our services are still available to you completely remotely. So we are working from our homes to support you. One of the things that we've done is that we've shown you that as we've transitioned into this virtual setting, we have first evaluated what our workspaces look like. And so we've shared some of these with you. The first thing to consider is that your life is not always going to be neat and tidy. So here, one of our team members has demonstrated that although this individual has a workspace that's set up and looks like it's well organized and they are ready to focus in on what they need to accomplish, they also have a lot of other things happening in their life. So although they have chaos and somewhat organized chaos, they have managed to set up a workstation, and as long as they don't pivot to the right, they won't be distracted by all of the organized chaos in their lives. Try to think about finding that space, even if it's a small nook, that you can then be distraction-free somewhat, at least as much as possible. Next, it may not always be possible for you to find a space that works for you inside. And so if you are just out of options inside, you might be able to look towards your outside spaces to try to find solace. So you can see here that this individual, our team member, has set up this fairly serene atmosphere in their backyard where they can focus in on achieving or accomplishing all of their goals that they have for the day. And, it looks like they can focus in. If we look out a little bit more, you can see that it's a table that they've converted into a makeshift office, but it's still serving their purpose of establishing a workplace and where they can kind of drown out the world and focus in on completing the tasks that they need to do. Next, try to think about if there's a space that you can repurpose in your home. So here we have one of our team members who has created a work nook in what was her dining room. And so, you know, as we've come to find that we need, or that this space was needed, the team member evaluated that this was the only space they had to work with and repurposed that space. And then finally, one thing to keep in mind is that you may need to share your spaces. Just like many of you have family members and roommates and other people in your life that you may not be able to carve out space and you need to share it, this team member actually has a very cute coworker that they are sharing their space with. And sometimes in this virtual reality, we have to think about the fact that we're going to have to share space and figure out a way to do that. The second thing that I want to talk about is setting expectations. So as we move forward in this virtual space, it's important that you understand that you need to not only set expectations for yourself and others, but you need to understand the expectations that others have for you. And so one thing to think about is not only where you will study, and we talked about establishing that space, but with regards to expectations for you, when are you going to study? So start thinking about in what times you're going to map out, because you're not going to physically be in that space that you'll devote to a physical classroom, you're still going to have to find a time that works to study. Additionally, with regards to your expectations, you're going to have to understand how you can balance your commitments outside of academics with your commitments that you've made to your education. So, you know, understand what other commitments that you have and that others are expecting from you. Now, with regards to scheduling, there are two different kinds of classes at Cal State Fullerton that you're going to see in your virtual setting. One of them is asynchronous and the other is synchronous. In asynchronous instruction, we have any sort of instruction that's not happening at the same time. So perhaps this is that you are doing a discussion board where everyone is expected to be submitting something, but it's not necessarily happening online at the same time. You will also have synchronous instruction, which is when you have a set time that you're expected to be meeting with your instructor or your peers online. So you will need to budget for both of those things, whether they be classes that you are not expected to attend at a given time, but you're still going to need to carve out space for those meeting time, for the work times for your asynchronous course, but also carving out time for your synchronous courses because you'll have to be online at a certain time. So understand what the expectations are for meeting times and then map out when those work times are going to be for your asynchronous courses. With regards to expectations for your instructor, you should understand what your instructor's preferred communication platform is. And you might say, how do I know that? First and foremost, and I will repeat this over and over as an instructor, read the syllabus. You will know a lot about the course by reading the syllabus. And in there, you'll not only find out how to contact your instructor, but normally they'll outline what their preferred communication method is. Do they prefer that you send an email? If so, how long should you expect to wait before you get a response back? For example, I normally say, you know, I'll communicate within 48 hours. Make sure that you understand what your instructor's preferences are. Additionally, if the instructor has office hours, and many of the instructors are offering virtual office hours, attend them. This is a great opportunity for you to talk about different expectations that the instructor has in the course, but then also to touch on any questions you have with the content of the course or to just connect with the instructor. I can tell you as a Cal State Fullerton faculty member and an alumni, all of our instructors really do care about making sure that you can meet your educational goals. The third piece for expectations for you and the instructor is that you understand what the course requirements are. Exactly what are you expected to be doing on a week-to-week or day-to-day basis? How often should you be checking into your Titanium or Canvas page? These are all questions that can be answered by, first of all, reading your syllabus, and second, connecting with your faculty member. But you should understand exactly what those expectations are in the course. Number 3, and one thing that's very important this virtual semester is going to be making sure that you have your technology needs met. So the university has several resources to ensure that you can be technologically prepared to be successful. If you require a device, the campus is allowing students to request a laptop, a MiFi, which is a Wi-Fi hotspot, webcams, headsets, or mobile devices. And you can do that by going to the Dean of Students site and completing a device request form. It's a very simple form, and they'll be contacting you back in order to find out what it is that they can do to support you. Also, we have a student IT help desk. And so the student IT help desk can be contacted by email at studentithelpdesk@fullerton.edu or by calling 657-278-8888. For any sort of technology questions at all, you can reach out to IT. Additionally, they do have a student support chat that's offered. So all of these are great ways to make certain that your technology needs are met. Additionally, you can find all of these on the Technology Tools for Working Remotely website. So if you look at the IT Fall 2020 resource website, you'll be able to see several resources, not only on asking questions about device requests, but also on things like tips for Zoom. All of that can be found there. And then number 4, Zoom etiquette. And so a couple of things to think about is, just like in a traditional classroom, you have certain expectations in place with regards to how you should present yourself. You also have those in a Zoom session. So first of all, just like you would in a traditional classroom, the expectation should be that you arrive on time. You know, this is, of course, twofold. First of all, that way you're not missing out on any information that the instructor is going over at the beginning of class. And second, it's not a distraction as you come into the classroom. Just like it can be a distraction to arrive late in a traditional classroom, it can very much be distracting to arrive late in a virtual classroom. Additionally, whenever possible, make certain that you're turning on your camera. Right now, because I'm doing this presentation, I have limited visibility on the number of students I can see, but it's also really great to see your faces and to know that you're either paying attention or that you're confused. You know, this is one way that we can really connect with each other and our instructors, is to make certain that we can see each other. And in fact, you can see it now. Certain emotions can be displayed by making sure that you have your camera on. So whenever possible, do that. Another thing is that you should mute your microphone whenever you're not speaking. And I'm sure that if anybody's returning after our virtual spring, you probably came in initially to a Zoom session where everyone's mics weren't muted. And it creates a lot of background noise. So unless you're contributing to the class by participating and speaking, then try to mute your microphone to reduce that background noise. You'll also notice that everybody has some reactions available to them in Zoom. And so if you go to your reactions, you'll see that you have the opportunity to applaud something or give a thumbs up. As you're listening to a lecture or participating in a discussion in this virtual classroom, use some reactions. It shows that you're paying attention to what your instructor or other students are saying. Furthermore, raise your hand. So if you click on the participants tab at the bottom of the Zoom session, you'll be able to go into the participants, and you'll see your name is normally at the top. And right on there, you should be given the opportunity to raise your hand at the bottom. So, you can use that to give the signal to your instructor that you have something that you'd like to add to the discussion. Furthermore, just like in a traditional classroom, every instructor may have different expectations with regards to how they would like the class to function. Again, this is a connect with your instructor and a read your syllabus response of once you read that syllabus and understand the instructor's requirements, you should have a better understanding of exactly what the expectations are and if there's some sort of etiquette that the instructor would like you to be following in the Zoom session. We talked about making certain that you are showing your picture when you are in a Zoom session and turning on your camera. Sometimes we're not completely comfortable with our backgrounds. If it is the case that you're not comfortable with your background, there are some options for you. So Zoom does have the ability to do a virtual background. And we have one of our amazing staff members here, well, one of our amazing faculty and leadership members here, Jessica Stern, who's demonstrating first of all over here how to use a virtual background. And so here, although you can see her and focus in on what she's saying, you're not necessarily seeing whatever is behind her because she's used this virtual background. Additionally, you can set your profile picture through Zoom, and then although you're not actually showing your camera, you are showing your face. So consider these if you're uncomfortable with showing the background. So these are just a couple of really quick tips. With regards to additional planning support, we are going to be putting on a Creating Your Virtual Schedule workshop on Thursday, August 26th. At that point, you should have access to most of your syllabi, and that'll give us an opportunity to be able to together work on building a virtual schedule. I can tell you that in this strange, surreal reality that is COVID, and I've shared this with many of my colleagues and students lately, I have spent a lot of time over the last weekend saying exactly what does my schedule look like and what does my support system schedule look like? And then, of course, because I'm a mother, what do my kids' schedules look like? What are all the commitments that I have? And how can I organize my household so that we understand exactly what the expectations are for each other? In our Creating Your Virtual Schedule workshop, we're going to not only work on understanding that you need to communicate what your commitments are to those around you and you need to understand them yourselves, but we'll show you how to take a syllabus and put it into a master schedule so that you can just be prepared to post your schedule and really clearly have an understanding of what your obligations are. In addition to this workshop, I'll be holding office hours every week, twice a week for a half an hour each time. And so on Wednesdays from 2 to 2:30 and on Thursdays from 11 to 11:30, I will have virtual office hours. We will be sending out emails and promoting them on our social media account. So make sure that you watch your email for information about these office hours and workshops. You can also contact our student success team. We are all, as I said earlier, working virtually, so we're here to support you. You can email the student success team at hssuccessteam@fullerton.edu or go to our website where we have a virtual front desk. So hss.fullerton.edu/student success team /SS center /student center, student success center. Or you can just Google CSUF Student Success Center. And that will take you to our virtual front desk where our amazing support, Robin, will be directing you towards the appropriate party to support you. I would like to take a couple minutes and let our student success team members in the room introduce themselves, and then we'll open up the floor for questions. So I want to start with Jessica Stern, our Associate Dean. Jessica, do you want to say a couple words?
Hi, my name is Jessica Stern. I am the Associate Dean, which means I am in the Dean's leadership circle. I advise her on student relations topics, and I oversee the college curriculum. I get to work with the success team, and I'm kind of your go-to person if you have any concerns about your courses and need an intermediary to work with your faculty or just to troubleshoot any concerns or any love you want to show for your faculty as well.
Thank you, Jessica.
Oh, I'm also I come from the history department too. I'm also a history professor.
And yes, she is. Robin, do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to this workshop. My name is Robin Gomes, and I am the admin at the front desk of the Student Success Center. So please email us, fill out our virtual form if you have any questions, or you can call the Student Success Center too, and hopefully I can answer your questions. And if I can't, I will find somebody who can.
And I'm sorry to my team members, you're spread out on my screen. So if I'm missing anybody, just let me know. But I do see Mai Warren. Mai, do you want to say hi?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Mai Warren. I'm so happy you all are able to join us tonight. I'm the graduation specialist in the college and one of the advisors on the team, and I primarily support seniors who are candidates for graduation.
Thank you, Mai. And I see Connie.
Hi, y'all. My name is Connie Moreno Yamashiro. I serve as your Assistant Dean for Student Affairs in our college. I'm so excited to welcome you to the fall semester. My goal is really to make sure you feel supported, that you feel connected to CSUF in this virtual format, that you are engaged, that you're connecting to clubs and organization and finding that virtual community. Later on in the year, we will share scholarship opportunities, but if any sensitive personal concerns come up in your personal life that are impacting your academics, I'm your go-to person, so I'm happy to support. So thank you. And I will pass it on to Julianne, one of your retention specialists.
Hi everyone, my name is Julianne Vartanian. I'm one of the retention specialists within the Student Success Center. I can support students in their academics, and so I'm super excited for you guys and for this upcoming semester. Thanks, Connie. I'll pass it on to our other retention specialist, Natalie.
Hey everyone, my name is Natalie Oliva. I'm the other retention specialist in the college. Happy to be here. I'm looking forward to supporting you this fall. If you have any academic concerns, you can always feel free to reach out to either Julianne or myself.
And I think that might be all of our team members that are here. If I missed anyone.
I think I saw Melody.
Melody, yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Melody. I'm the HSS Career Specialist here to support you all through your major, career, and grad school exploration. So excited to be with you all this year.
Thank you, Melody.